guys, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Natasha.
And we were wondering,
are you free for coffee?
Welcome, welcome.
I like this topic.
Okay. Well, last week we talked about some celebrity breakups that happened. And recently, Usher did an interview with Vibe magazine, and he was saying the hardest thing that he's ever had to do was to be single. But with the help of therapy and, being single, he came to a place where he could be with himself, this just got me to thinking that, especially with breakups, a lot of people get into bad situations or even worse situations because they don't want to be alone.
Yes.
That's like an epidemic.
What is that old saying? You jumping from the
skillet to the frying pan.
Yeah, it's like that's what people do.
Yeah. Yeah. And celebrities, you'll hear about the breakup. Of course, you're not in their personal life, so it could have happened a while ago. We don't know dates and all that. But I mean, PDQ, they will be with somebody
right
else
away.
Just right away. And I was just thinking about that. So, some of you out there are going through breakups. So we just have a little friendly advice about that.
Just a little been there, done that for you.
Okay, before you get over them and under somebody else, here's just some tips.
Yes.
First, detox.
Yes.
You have to detox from this prior relationship.
Yes.
So, what are...
So, you know what? One of mine is, if you can't quit looking them up online, you're not ready to move on.
But you need to get in a place.
And that's part of detoxing.
Right.
Find something to do. A lot of times when you get with people, you kind of lose your hobby or lose your thing that was your thing. Get back to whatever that is.
And your friends. Yes. You just forsake
you hear people say, "Oh, I can tell she's in a relationship now."
Right.
Because you're not around.
So get back with your friends.
Yes. And do it for a while. Don't use them.
No.
I want to say that too. Don't use them until you get with the next person. Maybe learn a lesson. Maybe you should have been staying with them, staying anchored.
Those friendships.
Yes.
And then learn to enjoy solitary pursuits.
Yes.
Things that you can just do by yourself.
Yes.
Whatever it is, like Natasha said, a hobby or maybe going to the movies. You can go out to eat by yourself. There's stuff that you don't have to be with someone for every single thing.
Yes.
The best thing in the world is going to the movies. A matinee, like on a Wednesday afternoon, is a beautiful thing.
And if
nobody's in there, it's in the dark. Nobody's looking at you.
You can relax.
It's just so good. You have space.
I want to say this too. If you cannot do that, if you're saying in your head like, "Oh, I just can't go to eat by myself. I can't do this." I want to tell you, no relationship is going to help you, because that means you're not okay being with yourself.
Correct.
So I don't know how to put that in any other words than learn to become being okay with yourself. Because if it takes a person, then you're really not happy, because the minute that person changes, or if they're no longer there for whatever reason, then you're back in trouble.
Right. Right. And just like a drug,
come on now.
Detoxing, you have to get it out of your system. You have to get where you don't need this substance anymore. Like you're cool without it.
Yes.
So that is number one. Okay, after you get through that, now, that can be the tears, the crying, the all the stuff that happens. You're a little depressed, you're, all the things. When you get over that hump, you need to do an autopsy. You need a post-mortem audit. You just have to do it. You got to pick it apart.
But it's true.
You have to pick it apart.
Because how else do you prevent yourself from getting back into this situation?
You don't. And number one, do not romanticize the dead.
Ooh.
This is, not just
Lisa
with
has
romance.
Strong feelings about this.
I have been to funerals.
Oh, yeah.
Where they get up and
talk
talk about the person, and I'm thinking, who are we talking about?
Because I didn't know.
I don't recognize
that version of that person.
All you have to do is die, for people to romanticize.
Right.
And the same with relationships. This could have been the worst relationship.
Yes.
He could have been abusive. You could have been, all the bad things.
And all you bring up is
I miss this. Yes. And this was his favorite color. And this is and you just go into this whole romanticized version.
Yes.
And your friends are looking at you like, so you don't remember
calling me at 3 a.m. about this crap?
And going to the hospital and the time he cheated on you and the this and the that. And it doesn't even have to be that traumatic.
Or maybe just the time he ignored you.
Right.
When you really needed
and it might not even be a bad breakup, but you just don't need to be together.
Right.
This is not your person.
Right.
So even on that level,
don't romanticize
I
agree. I totally agree.
They are not, nor have they ever been perfect. So let's stop there.
Yes.
They're not perfect. You miss them, just like the drug, but it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And you're going to get on the other side of it. There's a reason the relationship did not work out. Be honest.
Yes.
And when you get to where you don't romanticize it, then you can truly do an objective audit.
That's true.
Where there's good things. These were the things I liked about this person.
Yep.
And these, all the whatever.
And doesn't that work on both sides? Because you don't want to villainize to the point where they were the devil and,
Right.
So that's the balance. The autopsy is the balance.
That's
You're not over romanticizing. You're not over villainizing. It just is. It is what it is.
Right.
And there we go.
It's just a truthful assessment
of what went down. Yeah.
It's an audit. Yeah. You get audited at work or the IRS has audited you. Hopefully not, but
or an autopsy. That's why autopsies are what they are, because it may look like one thing, but once you get that body on the slab, you cut it open, you look at it, they then know this is for sure what killed it.
Yeah.
So be honest with yourself. This is what killed the relationship.
This was good and this was bad.
Yes.
I love this about this person, but I hated this. And what that lets you do is go back and revise your list.
Yes.
Everybody has a list of your non-negotiables, the things you want in a relationship and a person and a partner.
Yep. And that's the next thing you need to do is revise your list.
And what you need to do about yourself.
Yeah.
Some growth and some things that need to change in your life before you can move on to a healthy relationship. Yes. So once you do the autopsy, you know what you want in a person. And what you don't. And then you can revise a list. You have a better understanding of yourself, what you need in a relationship, what your non-negotiables are.
Yes.
Because there's some stuff you're not going to get 100% person because you're not 100%. There's nobody. But there's some things like I absolutely cannot deal with a person that's not athletic. I'm athletic. I like to run. I like to do
Or maybe you have asthma. So a smoker, that's a non-negotiable.
Yes. So there's some things that everybody has that, you can't argue about. It is what it is.
And if you're thinking, well, I've already got a list, I would hope your lists change.
You need to revise. That's what the
That's why it says revise your list.
Yes. Go back, pull that out.
Yep.
Because sometimes it's like the chickens. We're back to the chickens. Always the chickens. There's some stuff on your list that you thought you wanted. And then you get it.
Didn't we just talk about that in the episode?
We did, Jonah.
We just talked about that with Jonah. Now, I want the surfer with the tight body and Darius Jackson.
Yes.
I want it.
Right. So go back over that
and
list.
Be honest. And that's where the postmortem, the autopsy, that's that being honest with yourself so that your list, when you revise your list, it can be honest.
Yes.
Because I'm going to tell you, there are things when I was dating, including my husband, that may have been on my list or maybe weren't, that now that list is there. And spoiler alert, on your list, a person who can communicate should be on there. Because otherwise, as things change over time, as they tend to do, you can't even communicate that. So there's number one on your list if you need some help.
Yes, yes. So you gain a better understanding of yourself and what you want in a relationship.
Yes.
What you want for this person. And you have to be alone to process all this.
Yes.
You really do.
Yes.
You don't need any outside influences. You don't even need your girlfriends. Yep. Girl, you know you should get XYZ.
Because that's what they want.
He needs to be XY, ABC. Don't do that. You need to be alone. Only you can
go
process
sit at a coffee shop where no one will recognize you, by yourself.
With yourself. And do
create
that.
Your list. Yes.
Yes. And
1000% agree.
It's a hard thing. It is. Breakups are hard. But I think until you learn to do this, you're
doomed to repeat.
Yes.
History will repeat itself.
You're just going to have the, wash, rinse, repeat. over and over again.
Yes.
So please.
The clothes never get moved to the dryer.
This is a Black mama moment.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Sit down with your own damn self.
With yourself.
Yes.
And you don't just go somewhere and sit down. I have thought that about celebrities. Just go somewhere and sit down.
Zip your pants up, close your legs, and sit down.
Sit down.
Because half the
by yourself.
You're creating. For yourself.
You are. And you notice, I'm not going to mention any names because some of them I love. I love some of these folks. They get out of one and then they get with marry somebody. I mean,
Girl.
And you look at everything now, this, right? You can just call it right off.
This is right out from the last time.
Right. And then here you go. Yep. And, however many months, weeks later, it's over. And you're wondering why.
Why did you even get into it?
Right. You just do that reflex thing and rebound thing.
Yes.
And both of y'all are in trouble. So this is a live and learn moment.
Yes.
Now, maybe you've done that in the past. We're no judgment here. We've all been there, but we're not going to repeat it.
Right.
We're going to live and learn. And hopefully.
And if you want it to improve, then you don't want to do the same old thing because you already know where that's going to get you.
Right.
You've done that.
And that list that you had, you're there because of that list.
Right.
So that list is not working.
Revision matters.
The list you had is not working.
Yes.
So you need to revise the list.
You know who spoke to this? I don't know when the interview was, but do you remember Lala? She was married to Allen Iverson.
No, Carmelo.
Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry. She was married to Carmelo Anthony. And they interviewed her and it had to do with like marriage and relationships. And, y'all were so tight. When do you feel like it went down? And she's in a place now. And she said that. She was like, I remember I cursed you out years ago and I want to apologize. And they're like, it's okay. And she was like, no, you asked me when it was so raw and I was still in that blaming myself, blaming this. She said she couldn't talk about it. But the one thing she said was, but I've had to tweak a few things. And what I would never do again is date a basketball player. What that means is she's went through part of this list. She went through the crying, the tears, the cursing out, the blaming. Then she took some time. She did the autopsy. This works. This doesn't work. I like this. I don't like that. Lala is tall, y'all. So she's probably going to date someone that's, 6 foot a jillion.
Or maybe not.
Well, no, she said it. She said, I like to wear my heels, but it would not be a basketball player. See, that's the like and the dislike. I like them tall, but I don't like this basketball traveling, blah, blah, blah. And she kind of broke down some of the reasons. She revised her list.
And you know who else? Courtney.
Yes.
She was by herself for some years.
She was.
She said she did a lot of self-work.
Yes. And that's why her sister doesn't understand her place. Yes.
And she went outside her lane.
Yes.
She got out of her lane because
that lane was taking you to the same place.
And sometimes the lanes are closed. You ever notice that on the freeway? You get on some of them lanes, they are closed.
And that's why you stuck.
You have to get over.
Yes.
You have to
and
get over.
And that's why Chloe doesn't understand her, because Chloe's thing is, I feel like this style is a phase, this is a phase. But honey, you've been on repeat since before Lamar Odom. I'm not even going to blame Lamar Odom because before then, you're doing the same thing over and over and over.
Maybe she's getting to a good place.
Just listen to our podcast and follow these instructions.
We hope. For a lot of,
of course, I hope so.
People,
yes.
We hope. And the other thing with this, especially if you have, like Kiki, children with this person, and they have to be in your life. Yes. It's vital you do this.
Yes,
because
don't get with another fool
to a healthy place where you can. You were with them, so they're not all bad. We know that.
Right.
You're not a psychopath. You're not going to get with somebody that's a serial killer that you know of.
We would hope.
We hope. I don't think you would. So you have to get to a healthy place where you can have a healthy cordial relationship if you share children with this person.
And then you don't want to invite more crazy around your children.
That's it. And repeat the crazy around them.
Really makes sense.
Really matters.
Yes.
Really matters. And you can't do the list without the autopsy and the detox.
That's it.
You have to do it. And there's no time limit on this. But some folks, have you ever broken up with somebody and you really want to break up? Like you're just done.
Yes.
Now when you do that detox might take 2 days.
Yes, because you're right.
You're
the
just,
time limit is different.
I've been gone.
Or even if now maybe this may just be me. I am a very social introvert. I enjoy being alone. I think you are too. I think you're a social introvert.
I am too.
Who I fool with, I fool with.
Introvert.
Who I fool with, I fool with. But if I don't, leave me alone. Yeah. If you see me sitting alone, I don't need you to come sit with me. I'm not lonely. I'm perfectly fine sitting with Natasha. I might even be talking to myself. I need expert opinion sometimes. I'm the type of person, once I had my first big, ugly, failed a few classes behind it in college breakup, that has never happened to me again. But what I learned during that detox, which was forced, that one was a very forced one. It was, I lost a lot of friends behind it. Yeah, it was really forced. But during the autopsy, I realized I never want to be so lost in someone that I don't know who I am.
Right. And that's easy to do.
It's very easy to do.
Especially for women.
Yes.
We're
very supportive. So it's easy
we just get your cause is my cause.
That's it.
And you just get all in it.
Yes.
So doing the detox.
I learned then not to do that. And so if I ever have to go through this list again, the detox may take a while, but the autopsy, I'm very black and white.
It's more focused.
It is. It's more focused for me.
Well, just think if in a real autopsy, they kind of know what happened.
Girl, yes.
I mean, they, the general area.
Yes.
So they're not, if, it was intestinal something, they're not looking for something in their brain that went wrong.
That's right.
It was in their abdomen.
But maybe at the beginning of their career in doing autopsies, they probably had to make a lot more cuts.
They might
But
have.
now, no.
But now they
know where to go. Yes.
You know what broke it. And during a breakup, it might have been little things over a long time, or there might have been one big explosion, but whatever it was, that situation, whatever happened, is a non-starter for you.
Yes.
So the list begins with that. Like never again.
Yes.
Not this.
This is what we're not going to do.
Right.
And guys, when people say it's not you, it's me, believe them.
Oh, sure.
I used to want to examine this. It had to be this. It had to be that. It had to be. No, it wasn't me. It was them. And they said it.
Low self-esteem on our part.
That is. Yes,
and
it
that's
is.
part of doing the
You're
work.
looking for something to be wrong with
the
you.
Postmortem is not just them. You're not just
you better be
doing
looking
an
at
audit
you.
on them. You're auditing yourself.
Yes.
Like I did this wrong. This was wrong. I need to correct this. I have a problem with this. So it's not one-sided. You are auditing the whole relationship, both sides. So that's super, super important. And we just want everybody to get to a healthy place. We want everybody to be happy, and get to a great place and find their happily ever after and their person.
Yes.
That's what we want. That's what Black mamas want for you.
Everybody.
Everybody. Up next, our picks for the sexiest man alive this week. But first, a message from our sponsor.
During hard times, it can get really difficult if you don't have anyone to talk to. Being alone with your thoughts can be an isolating feeling that can allow negativity to consume you.
This is why we are sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to.
There is a broad range of expertise in BetterHelp's 20,000 plus therapist network that gives you access to help that may not be available in your area. You just fill out a questionnaire to help assess your specific needs, and then you get matched with the therapist in under 48 hours.
Then you schedule secure video and phone sessions. Plus, you can exchange unlimited messages, and everything you share is completely confidential. You can request a new therapist at no additional charge anytime.
Join the 2 million plus people who have taken charge of their mental health with an experienced BetterHelp therapist. So many people use BetterHelp that they are currently recruiting additional therapists in all 50 states.
Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/free-for-coffee. That's betterhelp.com/free-for-coffee.
I think I have someone I've never picked before.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And y'all, I got out of my lane of tattooed certain people, but I miss him. And this was I don't know if this was it had some good parts, but it was kind of a rocky relationship. Speaking of relationships, if y'all ever watch Revenge, he's in more than that. But I loved Revenge, and I went back last year and finally finished it because it was one of those where I quit watching it.
It's on something now. Is it Hulu or
somebody has it where you can watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Josh Bowman, who played Daniel Grayson.
He was a main guy.
Yes. He was the son who really became kind of the target, because she had to target their son. Fun fact, him and what was her name?
Emily Camp, I think.
Yes, they're married in real life.
Yeah, because she played. I saw Revenge a couple times.
It would be your. What do you mean?
I don't know.
Scorpio Central.
I didn't really get into it, but she was in the show that I loved with Treat Williams.
Yes, she was.
Yes. Everwood.
Yes. She was in that.
So she plays in a lot of.
Please watch Revenge.
And she was in The Resident. I love.
Oh, is that her little doctor thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, she's dead in that one now.
Oh, I was like, girl, she's dead. Okay, in the show.
I think she wanted to be dead.
Oh, you know what?
She wanted out.
I think she was pregnant again. Okay. You're right. She was pregnant again, and she wanted out.
She plays in a lot of cute blonde.
And this wasn't about Emily Camp. This was about
about her man. This is about Emily's man in real life.
This was about and her man on Revenge.
And he's British, isn't he? Which kind of shocked me.
It's so funny because when you hear his actual voice, you're like, whoa, you're really acting, because his American voice
is so good.
It's so good. And he said he would practice in the mirror as a kid. That he would do his little American. It's so funny.
Cute.
He's really cute.
Okay. Another cradle robbing moment because just running out of old.
She's feeling some kind of way.
Jonathan Scott, the Property Brothers. You guys, if you watch HGTV,
he's not 12.
He's not 12, but he's really what I love about him. I think he's cute. He's not like in my top 10 or anything. Sorry, Jonathan, but I love his woodworking skills.
Okay. Well, you love houses. So
yes, and he's a really good designer.
You have a love affair with houses and design.
And he just got engaged to Zoe Deschanel.
Yes.
They've been living together for quite a while. They rehabbed the house.
I actually thought they were married already.
Which their house is so pretty.
Oh, of
so
course.
Cool. So he's just got a lot of cool attributes.
I like them both. I like them both.
Yeah.
Okay, loves. Thank you for pulling up a chair and joining us for coffee. Please subscribe to Are You Free for Coffee podcast wherever you are listening, and don't forget to rate our show. We hope that you enjoyed today's episode and find joy in the little things. Until next time.
Part of the Boundless Audio Podcast Network.